Hey folks, good morning and welcome into the July 23, 2024 Kubernetes SIG Docs meeting. I'm your host today. My name is Ray Lahana. I'm one of the co-chairs along with Natalie Vlatko and Debbie Mohan. I'm going to share my screen here. I'm also going to go through a few housekeeping items as well. This meeting abides by the CNCF Code of Conduct. And I think it's not sharing properly. Let me try that again. Hopefully, could you? Okay, so as you can see my screens, hopefully that works. So this meeting abides by the CNCF Code of Conduct, which in summary just boils down to be kind to each other. And also this meeting is being recorded and uploaded to YouTube. So if you don't want to share your video share, please turn it off. And I just want to kick off a little welcome for any new contributors. So if you are new to Kubernetes SIG Docs, or this is your first meeting, or it's been a long time, please, if you want to, feel free to come off mute and do a short introduction to yourself.
Hi, this is my first SIG Docs meeting. I'm Anshuman Tripathi. I'm a new contributor to the Kubernetes community in general. I try to contribute more towards SIG security docs and SIG security. So happy to be here to see how I can contribute to SIG Docs as well.
Thank you. And thank you also for your work from the SIG security doc side.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Anyone else that would like to come on and say hello? All right. Well, welcome, Anshuman. All right. Let's go over a few updates, reminders. This week's PR Wrangler, Xander. Xander is this week's PR Wrangler, and next week's is Tim Bannister, and the following week's is Natalie Blanco. We have a link to the PR Wrangler shift schedule as well on the agenda. So if you have any open PRs, any questions on PRs that you have, please feel free to reach out to the PR Wrangler. And this week's issue wrangler is me. So if you have any questions on any issues, I'll be triaging issues this week. Next week's issue wrangler is Naranjan. And there's also a link to the issue wrangler rotation schedule as well on the agenda. Last update reminder, if you notice any code of conduct violations at events or meetings or GitHub or Slack, please, you could reach out to the Kubernetes Code of Conduct Committee. You could do so anonymously as well. And there's a link to the more about the Kubernetes Code of Conduct Committee. All right, first thing on the agenda is release 1.31, which is the current release cycle. First team update is from the docs team. So if anyone from the release team, from the docs team, if you want to come up on mute and provide us an update.
Hi everyone, Princess here, docs lead for 1.31. So the code freeze is scheduled for tomorrow, and we're currently monitoring that and all the KEBs that have been tracked, so that and based on this, we'll be able to determine what enhancements would probably make it to the doc freeze deadline. Yeah, and apart from that, we need help from SIGDocs reviewing some of the PRs. We've already started reviewing PRs, but we also need help from the SIGDocs team, to go in there and review some of the PRs that are ready for review. For metrics, we still have about 4 PRs that are still in draft status, and we're going to be sending an email like a bulk email to everyone after the code freeze deadline, not before the code freeze deadline. So we're just waiting for that to happen. And then we have about 13 that are ready for review, 16 that are okay, we have about 29 that are ready for review, and maybe 2 of them are 13 at risk for code freeze, and the rest are tracked for code freeze. So we need help reviewing all of those. We've also started sending out reminders for the doc freeze deadline, which is scheduled for the 30th of July. And finally, I've been syncing with the comms team in preparation for the release day, as well as I've also reached out to SIG cluster life cycle, but we've not gotten any confirmation from them yet about docs. So I'll send out a reminder to them maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow. And the brand sync for the week has been merged. That's the update from Docs. Thank you.
Thank you for the update. It's great that the branch sync PR has been merged already. So it looks like there's a good number of PRs ready for review, and next week is the dates for the final doc deadline, and we'll look forward to seeing the results of Code Freeze tomorrow as well. All right, any comments or questions for the docs team or for Princess? All right, thank you. Next update is from the release team from the comms team. If there's a representative from the comms team to give an update, please come off mute and do so.
Hello everyone, I'm Yiğit from the release comms team, and our updates are the mid-cycle block is now live, and we are currently monitoring 23 placeholder block PRs for caps, and 3 of them have been deferred to the next release, so we have 20 active PRs right now, and we will be communicating the publication schedule this week after the code freeze. And another update is the major teams discussion PR is linked in the document. The deadline is today, and we have had limited participation in that PR. We only have 1 cap from SIG network and 3 caps from SIG storage. And that's our update.
Yeah, I do have a question. I see the team's going to be working on a schedule for the feature blogs. If you could share that schedule with the SIGDocs blog channel whenever that schedule is up, so we would have a place to refer to in terms of when the blog should be released.
Definitely, yep.
Yeah. All right. Any comments or questions? Right. Let's move on to issues in PR. Before we do so, there is a question on the chat from Shannon. Should reviewers be prioritizing PRs that have no comments versus those that have multiple? And Kat replied that we'll take reviews whenever we can get them. And that's absolutely true as well. And each reviewer has their own process and how they triage reviews as well. So I would definitely prioritize the ones the ones that are targeting the dev-131 branch as well, since the doc deadline is on July 30th, which is next week. So any of those reviews would be welcome. All right. First one is from Anshuman about updating the SIGDocs community README.
Yeah, so this is a quick change to the SIGDocs community README. I realized that some links were broken, and on the README, some owner references weren't showing up. So it's just kind of housekeeping changes.
All right, thank you. I'll do a quick review of this after this call.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. I'll also take a look, see, make sure all the sub-project links and meeting info is correct as well.
Thank you.
All right, Nate. You have the updates. I've been looking forward to about page find, so I'll hand it over to you.
I'm hoping eventually we won't always have a search update in these meetings, but for now we continue to work on it. So we've got a fix for the wrong search being served. We're now looking at we're doing essentially like a Google check. Can you access Google? If yes, then you get the Google search results. Otherwise, if you're not able to access Google within about 5 seconds, then you are served the page find results. Now, I did mention that 5-second timeout. I haven't been able to, in my testing, I haven't been able to actually hit that. It usually takes less than like a 1 count. It's like 1/1000.
Oh, wow.
In order to bounce off. But that is me in North America using a quick internet. So we do need some more testing on this, folks. If you've got the opportunity to, it's really easy to test it. You're able to, if you do like a page inspect and go to the storage and look at the cookie, you can change the can access Google cookie from true to false. And that will help us sort of test whether or not this is something that's going to be working for you. So we still need some testing, but we think it's going to work. If it doesn't work, there are still a couple of other options we can go with. So this isn't necessarily the I think this is a good solution. I think we should try it and see if it works for us. But if for whatever reason it doesn't, there are still other options out there. So please help with testing. Now, Chris Abraham also opened up another issue relating back to the comment that the page find results aren't great. There are ways of tuning that. And so we have opened up an issue to help improve page find results. So if you're interested in that, take a look. And he's laid out a path that we can follow to try and do that. And we did get some response back from some analytics folks. So we can actually see the top 20, 30 most searched for terms, which will help in this process. If we can say, okay, well, this is what we're searching for, we can then sort of say, okay, well, this is the best page and whatnot to serve for those types of results. So if you're interested in helping out there, by all means, take a look. And yeah, I think that's it for my update. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns around what we're doing with page find?
No, but I'll give some background for folks who aren't familiar with this issue. Is that so? There was a change in the way search works in Kubernetes.io because one region in the world does not allow for Google search. So, so that region had historically used Bing, and those costs were too high. So it was changed to use PageFind. But because of this change, folks who use a browser with location detection turned off were also defaulting to use that page find search. So that page find search is not as good as if you were to search from using Google search or using the I guess the default or standard search that Kubernetes.io uses. So there's a fix proposed to fix that, as Nate was talking about, and with the first pull request as we see here, and see just to, instead of checking it to see if your IP location, if it's in that region, and before if you return that you could not return your IP, then it would just default to use PageFind. So now now that's actually going to check, see if Google search is allowed. If not, then use PageFind. So, and also PageFind results aren't that great so far. So there's room for improvement, which is the second issue that's linked on the agenda. All right. Any comments or questions on this issue? Thank you, Nate. And yeah, let's we welcome tests as well to see if these fixes help out to improve testing or the search results for those who do turn off browser location turned off in their browser. So please, we invite folks to help test.
And a note on this, for initially, the way we were doing it like Ray said, we were doing like a location test. Now we're doing just a like, can you access Google test? And so it should actually be a lot easier for more people to test this because it doesn't require spoofing locations or being in a specific area. This is something that you should be able to test. Like I said, just by changing the cookie value in the browser inspector. So this one I'm hoping more folks can help with. More folks more easily.
Thank you, Nate. All right, next one from the Zoom chat, just put a link to the PR asking for a review from Charles. So take a look at that. And let's go on to discussion points. I know Katz is on the call about reference docs generation and borrowing Nate's.
Hi, yeah, Nate DM'd me and Xander with the Calendly, so we're gonna take it from there, but we're gonna begin work on fixing the reference docs generation process with this release by walking through it with Nate.
Yep, happy to help. It's been a while since I've looked at this, so I may wind up leaning on Ray's video again, but I'm excited about the idea of fixing up that process. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, thank you. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, all the dependencies that you have to install for it, you'll probably see if there's any error, those are most likely errors you'll see. All right, that's good news too. That is starting off for the fix. It's always been issued for a few years now with each release cycle. All right, that's the end of our discussion topics and list of PRs and issues. Does anyone have a topic or PR issue that they want to bring up or? Right. Well, thank you very much. And that's the end of the SIG Docs meeting. I'm going to stop the share here.